I want to dedicate this recitation of Tam O'Shanter to my father, who's 90 years old, just last week. The basic story of Tam O'Shanter, for those of you who don't know, is about a rather drunk Scotsman who is warned by his wife not to drink too much, or one night he will be chased by a legion of evil spirits and witches. And this is exactly what happens. Two words, I think, that might fool some of our English friends could be nappy, which is not the traditional baby's nappy, but actually refers to beer or ale, and Doon means the River Doon. So, without further ado, let me do Tam O'Shanter. When chapmen billies leave the street, and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy, and getting fou and uncle happy, we think on the long Scots miles, the mosses, water, slaps and stiles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brows like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This troop, found in his Tam O'Shanter, as he frae air aye night did canter, old Ayr wham ne'er a town surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. Ah, Tam, hadst thou but been sae wise as ta'en thy ain wife Kate's advice? She told thee weel there was a skellum, a blithering, drunken blellum, that frae November till October, aye market day thou wasna sober, that ilka melder with a miller thou drank as lang as thou had siller, that every nag was caught a shoe on, the smith and thee got roaring fou on, that at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou drank wi' Curtin Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou wouldst be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the murk, by Alloway's old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me greet to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthened sage advices the husband for the wife despises. But to our tale. Aye market night, Tam had got planted, uncle right, fast by an ingle blazing finely, wi' reemin swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow Suitor Johnny, his ancient, trusty, drouthy crony. Tam loved him like a vera brother. They'd been fou for weeks together. The night drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with favours, sweet secrets, sweet and precious. The storm without might rear and rustle. Tam didna mind a storm a whistle. Care mad to see a man sae happy. He'd drowned himself among the nappy. As bees flee hame with lades of treasure, the minutes wing their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread. You seize the flower, its bloom is shed. Or like the snowfalls in the river, a moment white, then melts forever. Or like the borealis race that flit ere you can point their place. Or like the rainbow's lovely form, evanishing amid the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide. The hour approaches, Tam on ride. That hour a night's black arch the keystane. That dreary hour he mounts his beast in, and sick a night he tacks the road in, as ne'er poor sinner was abroad in. That night a child might understand, the devil had business on his hand. Wheel mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg. Tam skelpit on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his good blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er some old Scotch sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirk Alloway was drawing nigh, where ghosts and howlets nightly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chapman smoored, and past the birks and meikle stane, where drunken Charlie brak his neck's bane. And through his winds and wide by the cairns where hunters found the murdered bairns. Before him Doon pours all his floods. The Dublin storm roars through the woods. The lightnings flash frae pole to pole. Near and more near the thunders roll. When glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed in a blaze. Through Ilkabore the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst make us scorn. Wi' tippenny, we fear nae evil. Wi' Uscaby, we'll face the devil. The swats say reigned in Tammy's noddle fair play. He cared not deals a boddle. But Maggie stood right sair astonished, till by the heel and hand admonished, she ventured forward on the light. And vow, Tom saw an unco sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance. Nae cotillion brent you frae France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspeys and reels put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape of beast, a towsy tyke, black, grim and large. To gie them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gat them skirl, till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses that showed the deed in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip sleight, each in its cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the holy table a murderer's banes and gibbet airns, twa span lang wee unchristened bairns, a thief new cutted frae the rape, wi' his last gasp his gad did cape. 5 scimitars with blood red rusted, 5 tomahawks with murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain son o' life bereft. The grey hairs yet stuck to the heft, and mair a horrible and awful that even to name would be unlawful. As Maggie stood, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they click it, till ilka carl and swat and reek it, and coosed her durries to the work, and link it at it in her sark. Ah, Tam, hadst they been queens, all plump and strapping in their teens, I would have given them off my hardies for aye blink o' they bonny birdies. But withered beldams, old and droll, rigwoody hags with spina full, louping and flinging on a crummock, I wonder didn't they turn thy stomach. But Tam kenned what was what through brawly. There was aye winsome wench and Wally that night enlisted in the corps, lang after kenned on Carrick shore, and mony a beast to deed she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and beer, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark o' Paisley harm, that while a lassie she had worn, in longitude though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vaunty. A little kenned thy reverend granny, that sark she coughed for her wee nanny, with £2 Scots 'twas o' her riches, would ever graced a dance o' witches. But here my muse her wing maun cower, sick flights are far beyond her power, to sing how Nanny lap and flang, a supple jade she was and strang, and how Tam stood like ane bewitched, and thought his very een enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidged foo fain, and hotched and blew wi' micht and main, till first I caper, sign another, Tam tint his reason altogether, and roars out, "Well done, cutty sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees buzz out wi' angry fyke, when plundering herds assail their bike, as open pussy's mortal foes, when pop she starts before their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when "Catch the thief!" resounds aloud. So Maggie runs, the witches follow, wi' mony an eldritch screech and hollow. Ah, Tam, they'll get thy faring. In hell they'll roast thee like a herring. Now do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and win the keystane o' the brig. There at them thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they dare not cross. But ere the keystane she could make, the fainter tail she tried to shake, for Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle. But little wist she Maggie's mettle. Aye spring brought off her master hail, and left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin caught her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, wha this tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mother's son tak heed. Whene'er to drink ye are inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think, ye may buy the joys o'er dear. Remember Tam O'Shanter's mare. So that poem's dedicated to my dad and my mum, and also it contains within it the explanation of the origin of the name for the Cutty Shark ship. So I know I did miss out a couple of bits. I'm sorry about that to all you purists. You can even check against the original script. But I think you'll find about 98% of it was right.
Who is it by?
This is by Robert Burns, of course. Sorry, an Englishman had just... No, not an Englishman. Yes, an Englishman had just asked me that question.
And who are you?
Okay, lovely. And I am David Mann, a humble teacher living in Scotland. My granddad was English, and my dad and my mum was born in America, but they're really Scottish. So that's it. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed it.